Excuse me. So the process is that you have to move when God say move. You have to go whether you think that you should go or not, or not even think. It's whether you feel. Cause see, that's the problem where we're getting deterred because a lot of people are going on off on their feelings and it's going against what they know. Oh man. Yeah, you interrupting. What's up? Huh? Why? No, but why you had to call me back for that? Yeah, because I mean I'm gonna talk to her. I told you that. I think about it. Today's Friday. And when you supposed to be staying? Okay, I'll talk to you. All right, love you. Okay, I don't know if we continue. All right. Ooh, I got the camera running. Okay. Oh gosh. All right, I'm gonna keep on going, but I just see the interruption, and I have to answer because you know I was getting interrupted anyway, so I had to go ahead and answer it. My son is calling. But see, this is the thing. We have to stay focused. Excuse me. We have to stay focused on what we're dealing with, what we're up against, what's going on and in our lives at this point. It's the last month of the year of 2023 where we never thought that we would be here. We wouldn't have thought that we would have been here. So we have to realize that God, what are you? You didn't bring us this far to leave us. No, things don't look the way we thought it was going to look. It don't seem to, but yet we're still here. We're still thriving because we wake up every day. We might even feel like something is bothering us, but yet we still keep on having this faith and something inside of us just won't let us stop, won't let us stay there because it's like we already are like it's something in us that already knows what we have to do, right? So and that's the spirit. That's our spirit. Our spirit has to be in and that's why you the flesh has to be in tune and one with your body. See, your spirit controls your body, not your body controls your spirit. So that's why you have to understand that in our higher self is where the spirit lies at in our higher self. And our self, what we deal with here on earth is in the physical and is the flesh. So that's why we can do things that we wouldn't never thought that we would do, because it's like in us, like, no, we wouldn't have did that. But the flesh what makes us do things that we wouldn't do according to who we are and who God created us to be. That's why the more we're here, the longer we're here, the more we experience that. And that's why people should change. Or that's how you know people have changed and healed from things that they've been through, because they move forward and they change. No matter how it feels, no matter what it seems like. If you see a person staying stuck and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, they're not changing, and it's them. Even though they can feel it inside them, like they know it ain't right, but they don't understand. They don't, but yet they keep feeding their flesh. You can't keep feeding your flesh, meaning worldly things and things that cause appetite for material success instead of spiritual success, instead of spiritual things, feeding your spirit the word of God, feeding your spirit things that's going to help you with your mental, that's going to make you grow in your mental and in your emotions. So your emotions is the way you feel. So if you, that's what I see has been going on. It's like I know I felt like I didn't want to come on, but I know it ain't about feelings. I know it ain't about this. So I'm like, that's when I know I have to be have to come on when I'm being led, and then I'll be like, I'll just wait. And it ain't that I don't want to come on. Like I said, it's just I haven't seen the results that I want to see. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't see results that you are expecting to see, even though you know they're coming, but you want to see the results. I mean, that's just our human tendencies. We want to see results, no matter what. So, and I haven't seen, I see results, but I mean the results that I want to see, that I'm looking forward to. I want to see, that's just like I was telling, uh, when I was just picturing like how I am in this process, because that's what I've been doing. That's how you know you growing and you're healed, is because you can sit back and whenever you're in a situation, you can analyze it and focus to yourself of how you're feeling and what's going on with you. Now I know I have a more heightened um, sense of this with myself, because but I it's because I did the work for it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let me let you know what that means. That means, so I was sitting here like I'm in the moment right now. It's like I got a bunch of gifts under the tree. It's like it's crazy because I don't celebrate Christmas and I haven't been celebrating Christmas. I haven't since I was younger. Even when I was younger, I didn't have that unction to be like, I can't, I can't like look forward to any gifts. I just better be thankful that I have some. So ain't no need of being anxious. You just better hope you're gonna have some. So now, as an older woman, this is what I can relate. I can examine how I'm feeling right now, and it's like I'm waiting for it to. I have a bunch of gifts under the tree, and I'm waiting to open them. And God said, "No, not yet." And it's like, wow, that's all it is, though. And I don't want to go ahead of God. I don't want to be anxious because he never wants us to be anxious. So that practice that we were doing with making our kids anxious about things in life, anxious to can't wait to get their gifts and stuff. It's okay to have great expectations, but not it's okay to have great expectation, but not um being anxious. And he said, don't be anxious or don't be worried. Like, oh, oh, well, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get. No, that's not a good. Those of you know, it's not a good feeling to be anxious. It's not a good feeling to be toiling and hoping and wondering if something is going to work instead of just knowing. See, an anxious person, like the position I'm in right now, like that's how I feel. Like I could feel it trying to come on, want me to be anxious, but I have to control that. And that's why I had to realize and analyze to myself what is going on with me. Why am I feeling this way? So that's why I'm saying about the results. Like I don't want to. I didn't want to talk. I don't want to keep talking because I don't have no. I haven't seen the results that I want to see. So what am I talking about? But see, this is the power in it because I still have to talk no matter what. And that's what I did. Because I feel like I already did that. Like, I already been through things like having problems in my relationship, but still encouraging somebody else to how to have a good relationship and how to be and handle a situation in their relationship. But yet I'm going through it. So now it's like, all right, now I just want to see results. I don't even want to like wait anymore. And it's okay, as long as you understand that. Because if you try to ignore that and act like that's not the case of where you at in your life, then that's when you're gonna mess up, and that's when you're gonna find yourself making decisions and doing things that you say, "Oh wow, how did I get here?" Because you have to analyze where you are in your life to check yourself, keep yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's just like when a person. I was telling my having a talk with my sister earlier about I knew about postpartum. I knew that that's what it was. I don't know. I don't know how that feels, and I had 5 kids. I don't know how postpartum feel, but I just like imagine. I just knew that something was totally different from how I am. And then after I have a baby, like I'm always blessed and happy and just and relieved where I wasn't feeling like this. This one time, this when I had my first son, and they induced my labor at that time too. So that was something different for me because usually when you have a baby and you have your children, naturally you you don't have to go through any of these things. So that was a first for me. So this my labor was induced, so it wasn't the time. And I was with it because I was ready. The same thing I am like now, like right now, I'm ready. But I don't want nobody to induce my labor. I don't want nobody to induce my whatever God has for me, I don't want anyone to induce it. I want it to come naturally, ordained, destined, and all by God. It's God's timing. God's season, His appointed time. You understand? So I'm telling you, when I tell you, I seen it, I felt it, I knew it, and I didn't couldn't really explain it until I realized I don't, I don't care what they call it, what they named it. I know this wasn't how I was supposed to be feeling. I'm telling you, I was feeling like, "Argh." I already got finished feeling like that because of contractions. I know contractions can make you kick somebody's head off, while you trying to have a baby, and you having these contractions. I know you can like, "Argh," but this was over. I passed all that. My baby's out. Why am I still hours later? I'm still feeling like I'm ready to rip anybody head off that comes in the room. Then and not only that, I was like dark. Like I just was saying dark. It was like dark in my room. It was just like, oh. It was just something trying to take over me. And I was just like, I had to check myself, like, what the Lord, I don't like this feeling. I just start praying and talking to the Lord because and then it really kind of woke me up when my daughter came. She was a teenager at the time, my first daughter. And she was like, Mom, such and such want to see you, is coming in the room to see you. You want to see them or whatever? And I was like, I don't want to see nobody. And then she looked at me. She gave me this look, and I guess that made me snap into what was going on too, because it wasn't like me to be acting like that. So she was just looking like, oh, okay. She said it like that. And I think after that, that's when I realized something ain't right. Something isn't right because I already wasn't feeling right. And I'm just like, maybe it's just because, I did just have a baby and they giving me some type of fluid. And I'm like, it must have been the fluid and they said the fluid that they were giving me, it was, it was supposed to stop me from clotting. So I'm like, okay, but why do I feel like how I did when I just when my baby was getting induced? Because the inducement, the liquid that they give you, it brings on the contractions, and because like I was saying before, contractions is the only way your baby can come out, and that's painful. So, make a long story short, I had to talk to myself. I had to get a grip. I had to realize what was happening to me, what was trying to overcome me, and snap back into to reality, snap back into place because that postpartum is real. I mean, I was really like finding myself going to a dark place and just like, no, I don't, I won't be bothered with anyone. And I probably had that happen to me probably with all my kids, for real, because, I'm just thinking about just being pregnant, going through things in life that I had to endure, you know. It wasn't bad for me, but it wasn't in a place where you would say a healthy, loved young mother should have had to deal with, period, but definitely while she's pregnant, that I had to endure. And I still kept moving, kept going, being happy through all this type of stuff. So you would think, you wouldn't think that a postpartum is waiting for you. It can happen to any woman. That's why it happens to women, but it can happen to any of us. But we got to make the choice to just, because that's the power that we have. The only way you allow that thing to overcome you is if you just don't want to fight. You just want to give up. You just want to, you can't take it. So you just go with that. And I don't see how people can do that. Me, I'll be like, oh no, I'd rather fight. I'd rather stand up to that, whatever that thing is that's trying to make me feel like, oh, it's okay to be like that, and then you get stuck somewhere you don't want to be, you know. So I'm just thankful, and I'm glad that I can address where I am today, and I still, you know, but we got to understand that when we've been through things in our life, that if we would have trusted God and if we would have listened to Him in the first place, or listened to whoever He had to tell us, to guide us and lead us, if you had that, because I know people had that and they still didn't listen, and they wanted to go their own way and things like that and find out the hard way. With me, nobody didn't tell me, and I still had to go the hard way. I'm thankful. That's probably why my gift is so good. I can use it like that because I had to learn the hard way. Like nobody wasn't there to say, no, don't go that way, don't do this, don't do that, and then how I do with my children and others too, or have done. So they didn't have that. So when I see them go another way, when I told them, I'm not just telling you, just trying to tell you something that I don't know what I'm talking about just by using my logical sense. I'm telling you this for experience and from the hurt and pain that it caused me to go through it. And not having a way to say, oh, well, I learned the hard way, so they can learn the hard way too. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that with me anyway. So that's why I don't mind talking to you guys, because I know there's people that, like, I know I could have went a different way if I had people talking to me and telling me like, no, you shouldn't do this, no, you should wait, and then, you know, and the time that I needed it, the time that you need. But for me, it wasn't that. It was just that I had to go through that because God knows what you need and what you can. He knows everything about us before and after and all that. So He know how He created us. So He know what things that we can run off of or what we can't. He knows what's going to bring it out. And just so happen, when you're fire, what can refine you but fire? So I had to go through the fire to be refined to be where I am today. I had to go through that fire. Ain't no, oh, rubbing and cleaning and, I'm gentle. Then you don't be gentle first. No, you gotta go through the fire to get to that. Now now you gotta handle me with care. Now you gotta handle me gentle. And it's because I done already, went through the fire. So now I'm polished as a jewel. So, and that's what all God's chosen children have endured. We're all going to have the same story of going through, no matter how you had to go through, how you had to handle it, what gifts He sharpened in you. We all made unique, but for the most part, in the foundation of life, we had to go through that. And Jesus paved the way for us to do that. He paved the way so that we can do that, and we got to do it in that same order, in that same process that He did. If you think not, then I don't know who. I don't understand why you would think that anything is going to manifest great for you if you didn't think that had to go through anything, and that you sitting somewhere mad, upset, and angry due to going through when it was to shape and mold you and to refine you, to polish you for greatness. And so and so you could just as be as authentic and thorough as can be, you know. Nobody can't take nothing away from you. Nobody can say, "Oh, we gave it to you," or "Oh, you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth," and things like that. Nobody is not going to be able to say that. So you got to take it for what it is, and just like sit back and write these things down. Everything that happened to you bad, you got to write it down and then say what you learned from it. I think I wrote that down. Come to think about it, since I said it, I'm gonna read it to you real quick to give you an example of what it means uh to take what happened to you bad, or that could have, you know, brought some harm to you, but what it turned into. Excuse me. Yeah, man. Come to think about it, it was like, come on. And writing is it's such a good thing. Like people think that it's, oh, I gotta write. Reading and writing is so great. It is so great for your soul, for your spirit, to even be renewed. I don't know how people think they can be renewed ever in life if they're not going to read. It's, it's probably not even in this. I think it is. I know it is. I got so much things written down. That's why it's like I really want to find it. So yeah, so I find it. Let me keep on talking. I mean, sticking to what is needed to be said. Uh, so to keep you focused on what I'm saying, we have to get back to the place where we need to understand that things didn't happen to us by chance. Things happen to us to give us a reason to grow, a reason to learn, you know? And I'm thankful for it, even though I realized some serious things happened to me, some hurtful things happened to me, knowing and unknowing. But now I know. Now I still have to understand that it still wasn't meant to hurt me. It was just to make me stronger. And those people who did it and participated in it, they did it because of their hurt and pain that they endured that they couldn't handle. So they get mad at me and want to fight against me. It's not them, it's the spirit that's in them, because I'm overcoming things that they didn't want to overcome, or they didn't know how to, and they refused to. It's all kinds of, so many reasons why that they couldn't. That's why when I was talking about my first episode, broad is the way. There's so many reasons why you can, and so many reasons why you can't. But the principal way, the godly way, is only one way. and you're not going to be able to lose that way. That's why you gotta stick to the script. You gotta stick to the narrow path. You can't look to your left, can't look to your right. That's what that means. Cause all it's so many things out here, so many people talking, and there's so many opportunities out here. That doesn't mean that it's so many things that you could do right. That's back to what I was saying in the beginning. We can say, "Oh, it's the right thing. Oh, it's the right thing to go get married." Yes, but is that the right person that God chose for you? You understand? I had to learn that. I had to learn the hard way also. And then you you don't you, and I'm not sitting here trying to say like, oh, I just got it right yesterday or early at a young age. The devil is a lie. No, I did not. Actually, I did it a few times. And I had, people to tell me then. Nobody told me how to do what God wanted me to do. That's how I know it was God that allowed these things to happen to me to transform me, to shape and mold me. But when it came time to doing something that I thought that was right, but yet my elders and the people that I needed in my life to tell me the right thing to do, when I came to get married in my first marriage, they told me. And God and it was by God. But I didn't listen because I thought that I was doing the right thing. But I was doing the right thing. I just wasn't doing it with the right person. And and it's not like it's by what God says. See, we got to understand like the right person don't mean that that's a bad person. That means that's just not the person that God created for you for your purpose. You got to understand we're here for purpose. We're here on assignment. And in the glory of God, to God be the glory, we're supposed to be happy, joyful, peaceful. That's by the glory of God. To enjoy the material, tangible things. That's the glory by God. He want us to enjoy life. He want us to be happy. That's why he gave us the emotions to understand that this is joy, this is happiness, this is peace. But we live in this cold world, this real live world that Satan rules and have been running. He is not in charge, but he been running. So what we got to understand is that by God's grace and mercy, we still here today. By God's grace and mercy, we can do things that we do each and every day in spite of, and that's why it's so important. If you call and you call by God, the purpose is to do the assignment that you were called to do. It's not just about you and vain and just all, oh, it's my way or no way, and I want what I want, and that's just that. No, I don't care what's going on with all the other families in the world, all the other people, all the other children. God did not put us on this earth for that. And I always knew that. But because I wasn't raised to understand this is what I'm trying, because God knew I did. He know why I wanted to get married. It's only because of him. I didn't get married. So, oh, I just want to be married. I just want a beautiful wedding. No, I knew it wasn't like that, but I did not know that it was a specific person that God created for me. and you. And I don't think it's for everybody. But the two people that do need to be together, best believe the enemy is attacking them in that area. He don't want two people to come together to be who God called them to be, to connect what God has created in the earth. Because if Satan been running the world and God's children come here and we're gonna crush his very head, you think that he gonna let two people? That's why he met Eve in the garden right away. Before she even had kids. You hear me? This is not a joke. This is not a game, people. This is not a fairy tale. You know, this is real. The Bible is real. It explains to you if you want to think about it. And if you've been watching fairy tales or stories, which I don't know what that means, because even in the stories it tells you these things. Even in the movies, it tells you these things. The attacks, how the enemy will come. He is the one that's orchestrating this thing. Yes, he uses human people. Yes, he used people, but it's really still his spirit that's operating this thing, orchestrating this thing. So that's why he say it's not against flesh and blood. This is what he means. But I got to be careful of that spirit. You might not even know that spirit is using you like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to be in tune with what God says about you and what God says that He wants you to do. What are you supposed to be doing? Because the enemy will going to do everything to distract you, especially if you're a powerful person in the spirit realm. He's going to distract you with all kinds of relationships, all kinds of counterfeits and imposters. But you gotta know, you have to get to a place where you say, "Look, this is what's been going on with me." Like I know by now, a lot of people is waking up. You don't have to lose your limbs and your eyes and your ears and your nose and your mouth to realize that God is trying to get your attention. You don't. I'm a living witness to that. I done been in some situations where I said, "Oh Lord, no, I don't want to." Even with, you see what I'm saying with the postpartum, I was like, wait a minute, no, mm-mm. If you got my attention, God, if you ain't got my attention all the time, you got it now, please. Whatever it is that's trying to come over me right now, I don't want it, and I'm not giving into it. I ain't, you got to fight against that. It's you who have to fight against that. It's not nobody else can help you. That's why they have doctors and all that, and they prescribing you stuff, and things still not changing. You still living with all these type of infirmities and diseases because that's not what was supposed to be helping you. You have to fight these things off. You have to fight against these spirits by standing up to it and listening to what God is telling you that is right for you. What may be right for me ain't right for you. That don't mean it's wrong. But if you're doing something that may seem right to people, but not right to God, you're in a bad situation. Lord have mercy. You better wake up, people. I'm telling you. That's why when I think about the stuff that I went through, man, I like to turn that music on and I just be dancing. I'd be like, what? Yeah, I'm feeling that. Y'all want to be acting like it's just a kumbaya session and everybody's good and sit up in the church like this and that, and then people is dying and losing their life and don't know how to fight and don't know why this is happening. They've been doing this all this time. I did everything you told me to do. It's kids that went to school, graduated, went to college. They did everything mom and dad told them. but they still miserable. They still angry. They still feel like they failures. Why is that? Because you did everything that mom and dad said, or the culture said, or the job said, or the school said. But what did God say? Come on now. I'm talking to multitudes of people right now. Successful people even know this. I don't know how you handle it because Lord knows that would have been the biggest distraction for me if I would have had my money first. I don't think I would have been able to see what was going on because money and my gifts, I would have had me on an island somewhere sipping on uh a drink that ain't even been talked about yet. I'd have been sipping on it like, oh, okay, I'll be over there later. I'll be back to the world later. So God knows how we are. He knows what we'll do. So, that's why I didn't have to, I used to be sitting there saying that, like, you know what, I'm glad I did have money because Lord knows I probably would have been. No, I ain't gonna be sitting back like, oh, they got all this money. Who they think they is? And yeah, hating on them or not. No. Because guess what? I probably would have been worse. I don't give a darn about none of y'all fools. That's probably what I would have been saying. So I ain't sitting here acting like no, oh, I'm just an angel and I don't do no wrong. No. But people will try to portray that or make me feel like that's how I'm coming. And it ain't a lot of people that do that meet me. They love it. They love it when I talk. But it's just how people are when they can't handle things, handle the truth, that is, and or they don't want to accept the fact that I'm right. I know what I'm talking about. But it's not me that made it up. It ain't me that presented it and gave it and signed and sealed it. It wasn't me. It was God. And by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And guess what? It was only to do it for us. It was only for us. Like, are you serious? So I'm just I'm just so glad that I could come on here and be very transparent and talk to you guys because I've been talking. It's just like I've been talking in the closet to myself, especially when you talk to people that act like they don't understand, they don't want to hear it, or they just so clouded with everything, and you just be like, please. It's so much as like you trying to tell somebody, please don't go into that burning building. It is going to blow up in about 10 seconds, and they keep going. And they keep going. And you're telling them, not even yelling at them. No, you're telling not me because I don't panic. When I talk to people and I let people talk, I listen to people, I let them talk because I know that's what goes on. A lot of people don't, they didn't do it, they did it to me. Like, that's why I didn't speak up back then. I knew what I knew, but I used to keep quiet. But it let me learn a lot of stuff. So I'm glad they didn't listen to me because you learn more by listening, not talking. And I learned a lot by listening. So when I started talking, I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't understand why people wasn't listening. So, and that was people around me. So I'm just so thankful, and I ain't feel no type of way because guess what? If you don't listen to God, what makes you think that you got to listen to me? So I didn't care if you listened to me one way or the other, but I just felt like some type of way because it's like it's like somebody, and I hate to bring this up, but for uh those who have lost people from suicide, or people that have committed suicide. And it's like that. Like, you could have talked to them all you wanted to. That don't mean that they wouldn't have did that. So ain't no need of faulting yourself for somebody doing that to themselves, because all that's showing is that they was going to do it anyway. Because it was a very bad spirit that they were listening to, that they couldn't even probably listen to you. That's why. That's why you can't really get angry, and you definitely can't force somebody to listen to you. You got to pray, and you got to be strategic about this thing. You know, you some things you can't even feed into. I learned this in this season right here. I never like felt so like, I don't care what. Like, soon as it happened, I'd be like, "Oh, I already know what this is. I'm not feeding into it. I don't care if y'all swing from the chandeliers. I'm not doing that. I ain't got nothing to do with that." Mm-mm. And it's wild, because the type of person I am and the type of things I've been through. I know I could shut up. I could shut a party down. I could shut a whole club down when I start talking. When I start getting moving around, I can do it. I used to say it back in the day. I'll shut the whole thing down, and they know that I could do it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why I was saying it with my little old self, but it's the bigger me used to show right on time. Like, I could shut it down, and I must have did used to shut stuff down, because when people see me and they see how I am, they be like, "It's something different about this girl." I was like, "Yeah, that's Jesus in me, boy. Cause Lord knows I'll tear the city up. Little old me." That's why you don't judge a book by its cover, and don't underestimate nobody. I don't care what they look like, how they are, how old they are, how short they are, how tall they are. Don't underestimate nobody, people. Especially in this upcoming season. Because I know y'all already was fooled back then. You darn sure better not play right now. Because now it's some things that's unleashed in the city. I mean, in the world, but I'm gonna say in your city. There's some things gonna be unleashed, man, and you gonna be entertained. It's gonna be angels, demons, and everything, and you don't get to say what it look like. You better know that spirit. You better discern it, baby. And that season prior been already started. But if you was fooled back in the day of judging people by their covers, you better not try that in this season, because you gonna get taken out. And I think that's why a lot of people been getting taken out from their very own family, um, husband and wife, children, because y'all underestimate people by their cover. And definitely don't take nobody uh weakness, kindness for their weakness. Don't do that. When a person is being kind to you, don't think that you act crazy with somebody and they don't respond like somebody you thought would respond. Don't do it, because those be the humblest people. They be the thoroughest people, and they could take you out, but they choose not to, because God knows. Because this ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing all that for what? You want to play all these games with me, but this is not that. You do that with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just thankful that I can share this with you guys. And as I said, this is this is just the beginning. This podcast is going to go all the way to the top, because this needs to be talked about. This needs to be heard. And these, victory speaks. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's me. I am victory. And I'm speaking. The enemy been trying to keep me quiet, keep my mouth shut, not exposing things, not, and try to belittle anything that I say by using my very own children. But I know what that be. I'm like, all right, okay. Because for God's name's sake, you can think you're getting away with anything you want on me. Because for God's sake, I know mine is good all the way around. From the top of my head to the soles of my feet, everything and everyone concerning me is great. Is well with me. So, people, you got some work to do. If you don't do nothing but get on the video and talk to yourself for a little bit and see what's been going on and see what the Holy Spirit revealed to you about yourself, about what's been going on, what He bring back to your memory for what needs to be corrected, what needs to be dealt with. Okay, you have to be convicted. You got to allow the Holy Spirit to convict you. If you haven't been convicted and you can just go out and do anything and don't nothing make you be like, nah, I don't think I should do that. Yeah, you're in a bad place. I don't care if you got zeros, zeros, 6 zeros and up in the bank. If you do things and you don't ever feel nothing like, nah, I can't say that. No, I shouldn't do that. Yeah, you have a problem. I'm gonna be honest with you because it's called conviction. I can't just do anything. I can't just say anything. And even if I do, oh, I'm gonna get corrected. Oh, I'm gonna be convicted. I'm a nah. I plenty of time, even with drinking, or even when I used to smoke. Don't say that. The Holy Spirit, like, no, don't say that. And I wouldn't even be ready to say nothing bad. It's just the way I would be ready to say something. Sometimes everybody can't take it that way, and God knows how powerful my words are. So I can't just say anything. Especially at that time when you're entertaining it, God knows what we don't know what's going on and spirits and stuff. And he be like I could have said it any other time. Why I can't say it now? I don't question it. If the Holy Spirit say don't say that, I'm not gonna say that because I know me. I'm gonna say it. And trust me, the devil ain't gonna tell me not to say something like that because he don't care what I say, especially if it's something to mess up some. And I don't listen to him anyway. So therefore, I know it is not nothing but the Holy Spirit. We gotta get to a place where we know it ain't the devil entertaining us to speak or to do something because we don't listen to him anyway. So he not gonna say nothing to nobody who's not listening to him. He can't. That's why you can't let things get in your head. You get to thinking and that's why it's so important to say, oh, what does God say about this? If you just say it, he ain't gonna stick around for that. That's why all he do is try to distract you and keep you out the word, keep you from knowing the truth. Because he the only one that will try to trick you out of something. And if you don't listen to him, he ain't got no win with you. It's like talking to a brick wall. So that's why you can't be playing around with your life like that. That's why it's a process versus the enemy. And then the biggest problem is your own self. Especially when you're older. Because now you going off of what you think you know. Oh, what you think you know. No, God said you gotta be as little children. I gotta be like a little child again. No, I can't say that. No, I can't say them words. And it ain't about saying not cussing. Cause there's people that don't cuss that still be saying some bad stuff. They don't gotta say no curse words. So they ain't got that. That's not that's not a a way to say, oh, I ain't like that, and I don't curse. And no, don't say them words. It's words that you can say, and that's why God used to be like, no, don't say it, because if the enemy is somewhere entertaining, and then people, what I mean, they can take my words and use it and not take it to heed because of that spirit that's around. They already feel messed up as it is, and then I say something like that, so I just know what not to say. And it's just proper training for me, because when you deal with all different types of people, you don't deal with everybody the same way. You don't deal with a group of people the certain way because of how they are. You know what I'm saying? You don't cater to nobody, but you don't compromise, but you do gotta, it's like dealing, like I can't deal with a person, like you can't win a person by just saying anything or the same thing to them, shall I say. But yeah, I could keep going on and on with y'all, but I'm done. Y'all have a great day. I look forward to the great things that God is doing this upcoming year for his people, and that we just all, from the four corners of the earth come together and be on one accord, loving and walking and living and striving in abundance and opulence, and just having victory over every area in our lives. So I love y'all, and let's keep it going. Talk to you soon.